free, and I'm society's worst nightmare. I use they, them pronouns, I'm a Satanist, and I'm an educator. You can change all your rules and try to prevent us from being in school, but people like me will always be here to educate them.
Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome back. I truly appreciate your continued support on my channel as we grow, as I get more subscribers, and as we have more conversations about these issues that I am talking about on my channel. And I hope that you are subscribed as well, particularly if you are watching on Rumble, because we do need to support these platforms that support free speech, and YouTube just really seems to struggle to do that. So we're going to have a little back to school week on my channel over the next few days so that we can go over the education, legislation, and indoctrination happening in our public school system right now, so that as we're getting our kids ready to get back into the classroom, hopefully parents can be prepared as well, regardless of the area that you live in, but hopefully just to know some of the things to look for and what could potentially be happening in your school district without you even knowing it. So one of the biggest things that I do see with parents these days is that a lot of parents don't seem to know what is going on. And then when this leftist ideology pops up in their home, or their kid comes home and they say that they've changed their pronouns or changed their name, or they think that they're a different gender or whatever it is, the parents don't know how to deal with it. They weren't even aware that this was happening. And I don't say that to be condescending or anything like that, because I know that we're all busy. We have so many things going on, but I have seen so many parents just completely blindsided by these issues. And then ultimately they just feel backed into a corner, and that they just have to go along with whatever's happening, and they just feel completely powerless. And honestly, especially those of us that live in red states and we just assume that our school districts are being run by sane people, I think it's really easy for us to let our guard down and just assume that all of these things are happening in places like Portland and San Francisco and Los Angeles and New York, and that if you live in a place like Texas and you live close to a red district of sorts, and you think that sane people are running the education system, that you really don't have to pay that much attention to it. But honestly, I think that's a mistake, because our kids are honestly the prime targets for this leftist agenda. They don't have to convince their base to allow their kids to read sexually explicit material. They don't have to convince their base that you can pick your gender or you can pick your pronouns, or that hiding things from your parents is okay. They don't have to convince their base that allowing a drag queen to simulate sex acts in front of your kid on a stage is okay. Like, they have their base exactly where they want them to be. It is our kids that they have to get a hold of. So I think that gives us more reason to be on guard and to just be a little bit more aware and more involved than we ever have been in the past with what our kids are experiencing in school, going through their homework, making sure we know who their teachers are, making sure we know that what they're being taught, and getting to know their friends, knowing what it is that they're dealing with in school, questioning what it is that they're learning, all of these things, and not being afraid to be involved. My husband and I moved from Colorado to Texas a couple of years ago because we were hoping to at least have less leftist ideology in our kids' education. I think it's a mistake to assume that you're going to escape it anywhere, but as we were living in Colorado, it was very obvious that everything that happens in California happens in Colorado. And as we've seen the eradication of rights, of parental rights in California, that Colorado has just been following behind. So we at least wanted to move to a state where our voices could be heard and we could have that say in our kids' education. But again, that doesn't mean that we are, that we're safe from this stuff. And as we're going to talk about here with this example that just popped up in my Twitter feed the other day, we still have to be on guard, we still have to be aware, and we still have to be paying attention. So this person named Michael posted this a couple of days ago. Sleepless in Seattle, I guess, was their Twitter handle. It says, "Hey, somebody tell libs of TikTok I put up a progress flag in my classroom. What are they going to do? Cry? LMFAO." Now, first mistake was to tag libs of TikTok. If you really didn't want to see this through, if you really felt like, you didn't have a leg to stand on in your argument, like if you really weren't prepared to receive any kind of backlash, like the last people that you want to be tagging is libs of TikTok, because everybody's gonna see it. So I saw the post pop up because this gal, Sarah Fields, I follow her, and she talks a lot about the issues going on in the education system, particularly in Texas. Sorry, not in TikTok, in Texas. She talks a lot about these things. So I saw her retweet it, and you can see the post used to be right here, but it no longer exists because it took about 15 seconds for this person to set their account to private. But her response was, gosh, I don't know. What state are you in? What town? What school district? Because I have no problem exposing you to the parents of the community. And you can see my little response down here at the bottom, because I did go and click on this person's account just to see what how they would respond. And they had retweeted her response and said, San Antonio, Texas, Edgewood ISD, tell the parents. But then when I went back to look at the tweet again, they had set their account to private. So again, it took like less than a minute for this person to realize the mistake that they had made and to feel the wrath of parents as they ask this question, what are they going to do? And the crazy thing is that these people will do things like this and put it out there and be like, look, I'm putting up a pride flag in the classroom. What are you going to do about it? And then when people respond in a negative way, inevitably, then they're like, oh my gosh, I'm the victim. Oh my gosh, you're transphobic. And they're going to look at all of these, white Christian conservatives attacking me. And it's like, you're the one that started this. You're the one that put this out there, and you dared parents to respond to you. And I just feel like that's kind of their mindset with everything that they do, that they put in front of our kids, whether they put these themes in the cartoons or in the products or in their toys or in their movies, whatever it is, they put this stuff in front of our kids, and they're like, what are you going to do about it? Because they know that parents are going to respond and be like, that is inappropriate. You have no right to put that in front of my kid. You have no right to influence their ideology and their values and their morals. And of course, parents are going to step in. But the minute that we do, they're like, I don't understand why I'm being attacked. I don't understand why people are responding this way. They're so hateful. And it's like, I'm not responding because I'm hateful. I'm responding because you're doing things that you think you have a right to do, which you don't. And I'm going to respond the way that a parent normally does when adults are trying to do things to their kid that they shouldn't be doing. And then on the Edgewood ISD page, I mean, these pictures had nothing to do with the post, but a bunch of people went on there and said, you need to do something about this teacher. The pride flag is not acceptable in the classroom. This person says, hope they don't get groomed by the teachers too much. It says, fire Michael Gonzalez, the groomer. It says, hide your kids. I mean, this person started this, and I don't want people to be threatening them. I don't want people to be making their life miserable, and I don't want people to go on Edgewood ISD and make life miserable for the other teachers that are in this district, because we know that most of the teachers that are out there right now truly do love their careers. They truly do have kids' best interests at heart, and they really do they give teaching a good name, but it's just unfortunate where a small number of these educators will pull crap like this and then give the entire profession a bad reputation. And then sadly, somebody shared this video of this same teacher, and it's kind of an interesting contrast to the tough guy he was trying to be earlier.
Tried to get a second job tutoring, but I haven't really had any success. Pretty much everyone who's I've been turned down. Everyone has turned me down thus far. I guess I'm not a very good teacher. I don't have any friends to really ask. My best friend is my cat. My cat is fat, dumb, and happy, not knowing what this world is like anyway.
Hey, cats are amazing. And honestly, I do feel bad for this person. I would not be surprised if they joined the LGBTQ community out of loneliness, just looking for friends. He was looking to belong somewhere and to have people he could connect with on something, like anything. And I feel bad that he's struggling. And we can feel bad that he's struggling and that he's having this disconnect in his life and that he is feeling lonely. That's a very natural reaction, and don't feel bad for feeling that way. But at the same time, it is still our job to protect our kids from this ideology, regardless of who's pushing it and regardless of the reason for them doing so. And I honestly think because clearly it seems as though this community has failed him, and he can't seem to gain the relationships that he's been looking for by joining them, with other adults. He's looking to create his own community with the kids in his classroom. At least that's my take on it. And I could be totally wrong, because I also know that a lot of the motivation for teachers that do put this stuff in their classrooms, that motivation is because they themselves have spent years in a public education system that's been taken over by liberal, progressive, Marxist ideas, and they truly believe the things that they say, that binary identities are oppressive, that traditional values need to be eradicated, and that activism is a more important form of education than academics. But whatever the reason is, your top priority as a parent is to protect your child. Don't let people pull at your heartstrings and make you feel bad because you expect teachers to actually provide an education to your child while they're in school. And don't let them make you feel bad for saying, this is not okay for my child. And again, we can feel bad that this person is struggling, but that doesn't mean that he gets to use his emotions and his personal challenges and use my kid to make himself feel better. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Have any of you experienced this with your kids' teachers? Are you worried about any of the teachers coming into your children's school this year? And would you find it difficult to put a stop to this even when you know that you could potentially be hurting their teacher's feelings by pulling your child away from it? Because I honestly think that's a big weakness for a lot of us, because we naturally have that inclination to be compassionate. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to see this person hurt any more than they clearly are. But we also have to draw those boundaries, and I'm just hoping that we can all keep our wits about us and make logical and sensible decisions when it comes to our kids, and be able to separate the emotion from, the choices that are best for children. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next back to school video. Bye.